Flat pedals or clipless, aside from what you prefer to ride in, is it true that clipless pedals are more efficient? Anyone who rides clipless pedals probably feels like they're more efficient, being clipped into the bike, being able to use your quads and your hamstrings to spin circles on the pedals. But today I'm equipped with a heart rate monitor and a power meter. I'm going to take it to the trail, do some experiments and find out. We've done tests on this in the past, the olden days of GMBN, where we went to the lab and we found it very hard to, well, find anything. The differences were so small between flats and clips, it's hard to come to any solid conclusions. Plus, our brothers and sisters at GCN have also done their own tests and came to the same wishy-washy conclusions. But can ride or feel be completely wrong? Are flats just as efficient as clips? I do have some doubts, and they lie in the real world, not on tarmac or on some very fancy, very expensive treadmill, but on the trail where there are rocks and roots and other obstacles. There are many reasons why some people prefer clips over flat pedals, from being able to pick up their rear wheel easily on the trail to being solidly planted on rough descents. And those things don't really have anything to do with efficiency per se, it's more to do with riding technique. I do think there is a connection. So today I'm going to put some real world riding together with the data analysis to see if we can find any difference between the two types of pedals. I'm here in Spain at a place called Santa Coloma de Farnes, a great place to ride, and I've got a loop here that includes some nice smooth fire road climbs and then some punchy, rougher technical climbs into a really nice blue descent that does have some flatter, rough sections. And that's where I'm not sure if I'll be able to get more power through the clipless pedals. I think I'll just be able to get it to the ground more efficiently. Today I'm riding my Canyon Spectral, so it's a trail bike, 140mm rear travel, 150 fork, 29er perfecto bike for this place. And I've got a SRAM XX crankset with the Quark power meter in the middle, and I've got a heart rate monitor, both of those paired up to my Garmin Edge 840 Solar, so I can record my power, my cadence, my heart rate, the time, work all those things out and see how efficient both sets of pedals are. On parts of the trail that aren't smooth, then clips can give you the confidence to just be able to pedal through those. Whereas on flats, you might be more worried about your feet moving around on the pedals. With clips, you can just chop on through. With clips, there's very little chance you're going to come out of your pedal. Whereas with flats, slipping your pedal can cause a massive crash. I raced downhill back in the days before super grippy rubber soles was a thing. You just had vans and massive pins in your pedals. And for the most part, it was okay, but I definitely think it influenced the way I learned to ride a bit. And I learned to pump more through sections rather than risk pedaling, especially on flatter, rough sections. Right, done flat. So I've switched over to the clips. I've got the Crank Brothers Mallet E, so enduro pedals with a decent sized cage on there, paired with some Shimano GE9 clips, so kind of an enduro setup really. which is my preferred set of clips where I can feel the pedals. As well as being clipped in, it kind of feels a bit more like a flat pedal for the downhill. All right, we go again. Right, I was about 20 seconds quicker on the clips. Let's sit down and we'll take a look at the numbers and actually see if we can find out what's more efficient. All right, well, that was a really fun day out, a couple of tests. That trail is amazing. So the loop I did was 3.1 kilometers long, 128 meters of climbing and then 153 meters down. Start with the times. Flat pedals did it in 15 minutes 04, and then clips 20 seconds faster, 14 minutes 44. And actually looking at the splits, it was all made on the climb. The descents was almost exactly the same. So extra 20 seconds gained on clips on the climb. So would you expect that? Maybe. But let's dig into the data now. You get so much stuff sent from that power meter up to my Garmin. Quite interesting. I thought the cadences might be different. So I thought I might spin slower on flat pedals, but they are virtually exactly the same. Average of 70 RPM on both, max cadence of 109 on the flats over 108 on the clips, so you know, nothing in it really. Now it gets interesting. I did more strokes, total strokes of 958 on the flats. So less pedaling on the clips. I did 911. So it looks to me, digging into the other data, that I put less strokes in on the clips, but they made more difference. So going into it now, the average power was a decent chunk lower on the clip, so 188 watts compared to 199 on the flat. So more strokes, more power. I guess that means slightly less efficient. And actually, if you look at the training benefit as well, so on flat pedals, the aerobic score was 3.2, anaerobic 2.8. On the clips, same for aerobic, but the anaerobic was lower. So probably more on the downhill, but you know, those sort of higher intensity efforts were lower on the clips, but it got me up the hill faster. And the actual work I did, 180 kilojoules on the flats and 167 kilojoules on the clips. So less work, but more efficient. Quite interesting, and faster. Don't forget that, 20 seconds faster on the clips. I think it's still really, really difficult to decide. Obviously, it's quite a short test, so I want it to be repeatable. I think if you go out and do really long rides, like you never see anyone obviously racing cross country on flat pedals, it's never happened to my knowledge. So for longer rides, I do think the clips are just more efficient for your muscles. You do get a bit more pull, definitely. So I think, you know, if you went and did 100 kilometers like Connor, who did from GCM recently, did it on flats, I think it will be slightly less tiring on clips still, but there's really not a huge difference in it still. And what can I say? I just love flat pedals. Coming down there, I still really enjoy it. I find myself a really good combination now. These new Shimano flats have got their softest rubber ever. So these are the GF6, this Alt Tread. Pairing them, I've got the small Crank Brothers stamps. I've got a size 42 foot, so I'm right on the cusp of going large or small. I've got a small one, and I find they're so grippy now that I just love riding them. They give me enough confidence pedaling up the hill. I hardly ever move around on the pedals, but coming down the hill, it's just more fun. So even though I was faster, even though I did less work, I would still pick the flat pedals, and I've been running these pretty much 100% now for quite a while. After switching around clips and flats for years and years, I'm sold back on the flat pedals. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is that efficiency more important to you? Will we ever see anyone race cross country on flat pedals? I doubt it, but get involved in the debate down below.